My billionaire boyfriend's 7-year test. My boyfriend was Manhattan royalty, worth billions. To test me, he never bought me anything or spent a cent on me during our 7 years together. Even buying condoms at CVS meant splitting the bill. When my mother was dying and I'd borrowed from everyone I knew, I was just $2,000 short for her surgery. No matter how I begged, Marcus wouldn't lend it to me. After handling Mom's funeral alone, I went home to pack and found his gift list for the neighbor's daughter. Penthouses, Hermès bags, $100 million jewelry. And screenshots of texts with his friends. Bro, heard Sophia got on her knees. Begging you for $2,000. That true? Marcus's voice dripped with amusement. Natalie was right. Anyone who'd beg for $2,000 is just a gold digger. We've only been together 7 years and she's already desperate to get her hands on my money. Turns out, 7 years of testing came down to our neighbor's casual suggestion. Whatever. The moment Mom died, I'd already decided to leave him. Chapter 1. I just put the gift list back when the door opened. Marcus stumbled in, reeking of whiskey, and dropped onto the couch beside me. Gone for days. Thought you had more pride than to crawl back. But here you are. Can't stay away from me after all. He practically spelled out that I'd only returned to scam more money. Maybe that's all I'd ever been to him, a gold digger after his billions. I didn't even look up, just scooted away from his reaching arm. He froze, staring at his empty hand, then at me. Figured I was sulking about the $2,000. I'm thirsty. Make me something for this hangover. He always slipped into that entitled rich boy mode without thinking. Yet when he'd first pursued me 7 years ago, he'd played the starving artist role perfectly. Had me completely fooled. Sophia, I have nothing. Can't promise you stability or security. But we can work together, build something real together. His earnest face had sold it. I'd nodded like an idiot. I needed money, sure, but I could earn my own way. What got me was that line, we'll build something together. But the longer we dated, the more his mask slipped. The unconscious disgust when touching anything from Target. The way he'd order me around for tasks he could easily do himself. Until I saw him exit a Lamborghini at my restaurant job, surrounded by ass-kissers heading into Soho House. That's when I knew our whole relationship was built on lies. And he'd always been terrified I'd want his money. Marcus interrupted my thoughts. Next time you need cash, just ask. Using your mother's health as an excuse? You're playing with karma. His words were laughable. I finally looked at him. Would you have given it to me if I'd asked directly? He hesitated, uncertainty flickering across his face. Then, as if confirming something, his expression turned mocking. Natalie was right. You're only with me for the money. He Venmo'd me $1.88 with the note, gold digger. 7 years together. I'd never spent a cent of his money. I'd buy him birthday gifts, anniversary presents. He'd accept them without a second thought, then mock me for expecting reciprocation. What, you think boyfriends are obligated to buy their girlfriends things? This was the gold digger he kept describing. This was Manhattan's billion-dollar prince. Thinking of Natalie's gift list. Thinking of Mom dying in agony because we couldn't afford treatment. I couldn't stand another second of his face. I stood to leave when the door opened again. Natalie waltzed in, peeling off her coat to reveal a barely there dress. She jumped seeing me, quickly covering up again. Oh. Sophia. What are you doing here? I turned to Marcus. Last I checked, this is our apartment. You gave her the code? Let her walk in whenever. Natalie's eyes went wide with fake hurt. She rushed to Marcus's side, grabbing his arm. Marcus, how can you call me a stranger? I just forgot my keys and needed somewhere to crash. Besides, if you weren't splitting rent, Sophia would have to pay it all herself. She should be grateful. God knows how many times she'd poisoned his mind when I wasn't around. Marcus nodded along. Natalie's right. I have my own place. Splitting rent here is charity. Might as well be paying for sex. He pulled up his Venmo QR code, shoving it in my face. Unless you want everyone knowing. You're a gold digger, pay me back for 7 years of rent. Chapter 2. This 600-square-foot studio was our first place together after graduation. I'd stayed in New York for better pay, but could only afford a closet in Queens. Marcus complained about the commute. Said my place wasn't fit for humans, killed the mood for intimacy. Insisted we get somewhere bigger together. So I took on the astronomical Manhattan rent, found extra freelance work to make up for the shorter commute. Now he wanted 7 years of his half back. Said he felt used, paying to sleep with me. What was I to you these 7 years? Marcus? The tears were for my wasted youth, not him. 7 years thrown away on this creature. His hand trembled as my tears fell. He pulled back. Just kidding around. No big deal if. Natalie cut him off with a disgusted snort. Still claiming you're not after his money? Without Marcus, you couldn't afford a place like this. Marcus, just move out next month. Stop letting outsiders take advantage. Or make Sophia sign an IOU. That's fair. If assault wasn't illegal, I'd have slapped them both. But they'd just use it to extort more money. Rich assholes and their sick games. 7 years was enough. I'm not signing anything. Want money? Sue me. See if the court agrees. Keep the apartment. Since Natalie wants to stay tonight, remember to charge her rent. Otherwise she's a gold digger too. Marcus grabbed my arm as I turned to leave. The smirk was gone, replaced by anger. Sophia, seriously? Natalie and I were joking. Think about it. Leave here, you'll never find another place this nice. I'd been so wrong. So stupidly wrong. Wrong to stay when I found out he was Manhattan royalty, letting him sweet-talk me out of breaking up. Wrong to believe his bullshit about keeping money. Out of our equal relationship while he accused me of gold digging. Clinging to memories of him warming my feet with his body heat in winter. His gentle hands massaging my cramps. We'd been in love once. Happy, even. But our love couldn't touch money. Ever. Marcus, we're done. The words finally wiped the smugness off his face. Panic flickered in his eyes. Done? You're breaking up with me? I don't accept. You don't get to dump me. Stop being dramatic. He'd always put himself above me. Dating me was charity in his mind. I met his gaze calmly. I'm not being dramatic. Since you think I'm a gold digger after your money, find someone from your own world. Have a fair relationship. I didn't wait for his response, just went to pack. About 30 seconds later, his roar followed. Sophia, you'll regret this. I ignored his threat, didn't care when he stormed out with Natalie. 7 years of being treated like a thief. I'd endured it all. I didn't blame Marcus for Mom's death. He had no obligation to lend me money. But when I needed help most, when I knelt with an IOU begging him to save her life, he'd looked through me, convinced I was scamming him. That's when I knew. Him, us, 7 years all dead. To me. Chapter 3. Middle of the night, dragging my suitcases through empty Manhattan streets. This whole city had no place for me anymore. No reason to stay. Mom was gone. Love was dead. Every second here just added pain. Nowhere to go, I spent the night in a hospital waiting room. First thing next morning, resignation letter. My boss looked shocked. Quitting? Did Marcus approve this? Your bonus won't be much if you leave now. Should we put remaining wages on one card? I frowned, processing the information overload. One card? What bonus? And what did he mean, Mr. Blackwood? Seeing my confusion, my boss looked puzzled. 2. You and Marcus are together, right? He specifically told accounting to split your pay. Base salary to you, bonuses and raises to another account. Said you were saving. Never expected Marcus Blackwood's girlfriend to be so frugal. So all these years, I'd only received my starting salary. Every raise I'd fought for wasn't denied. Marcus had been stealing them. When accounting showed me the pay stubs, my December bonus stared back, $2,000. The exact amount that could have saved Mom. 7 years of stolen bonuses and raises, more than enough for her treatment. I'd been so fucking stupid. Working myself to death. Terrified of unemployment. While Marcus played puppet master with my own money. Never spending his cash to avoid looking like a gold digger. While he stole my actual earnings. 7 years of lies and humiliation. I grabbed the pay stubs to confront him when he swaggered in. Sophia, we had a fight and you're throwing tantrums? Moving out? Quitting? Getting pretty bold, aren't you? Natalie trailed behind, barely concealing her glee. Her fake concern made me sick. Sophia, that's ungrateful. You spend Marcus's money, live in his apartment. Without him, could you even survive in Manhattan? Shameless people really could lie without blinking. I laughed bitterly, about to respond when Marcus cut me off. Natalie's right. 7 years of my charity, you'd have starved without me. Fine, throw your tantrum. 1 day off. Come home with me. I won't even dock your pay for skipping work. Chapter 4. The more I saw Marcus's true face, the more I wondered how I'd been so blind for 7 years. Whispers started around us. When Marcus didn't stop them, they got louder. Mr. Blackwood hid his identity so Sophia wouldn't feel inferior. He made us all keep quiet. Shows how much he cared. Living off him, eating his food, and still throwing fits. Wants to fly high, but look at her without Marcus. She's nothing. The more they talked, the smugger Marcus looked. Natalie kept adding fuel, pinning every sin on me. Sophia, didn't you lie about your mom dying to get $2,000 from Marcus? Love money but want to play innocent? That's textbook manipulation. Her words were gasoline on fire. The office exploded. Everyone's disgusted stares and vicious whispers felt like knives. I looked at Marcus. Still that careless expression. Like Natalie spoke his truth and he was the victim. My lips twisted in a bitter smile. Before I could speak, Marcus grabbed me with fake magnanimity. Forget it, water under the bridge. I don't need the money. Just ask directly next time you need cash. No need for elaborate lies. The office rallied behind him, condemning my ingratitude. Right? Mr. Blackwood's loaded, just ask. Cursing your own mother for money? That's subhuman. Never knew Sophia was like this. I used to bring her lunch because she seemed so frugal. Mr. Blackwood should dump her. Kick her out of Manhattan. Watching former friends pile on, coworkers I'd helped turn on me. Following Marcus's lead. So pointless. He'd stolen my wages and they'd still paint me as the villain. I tucked the pay stubs away. Looking up at Marcus with a cold smile. Calculate it then. How much of your money have I spent in 7 years? If you can't name 1 cent spent on me, pay back the hundreds of thousands you owe me. Otherwise, you and your company can expect lawsuits. Our money-free relationship had been nothing but money. While he played generous billionaire in public, he'd been stealing my mother's medical funds. Marcus's mind raced, panic flashing in his eyes. He couldn't think of a single penny spent on me. The man who went Dutch on condoms couldn't imagine spending money on me. Maybe I just wasn't worth it to him. Or maybe he thought I deserved the loss. He grabbed my boss, voice strained. Sophia's mother really died? My boss nodded, confused. Yes, didn't you know? Marcus swayed, nearly collapsing. He couldn't believe the woman who'd called him son was dead. Partially because of him. Seeing him like this, you'd think it was his mother who'd died. I laughed coldly. Can't remember. Or just nothing to remember. I'd planned to confront him, but why bother? The most important thing was getting Mom's ashes. Taking her away from this city of heartbreak. Marcus had always known I was independent, driven. Never spent a cent of his money in all our years. When someone that proud kneels to beg for money, they're desperate. Marcus knew. He'd always known. But whenever he wavered, Natalie pulled him back. His vacant stare suddenly sharpened. Scanning the room until he spotted me at the elevator. Sophia. The doors closed on his shout. Chapter 5. Something like dread filled Marcus as he watched the floors count down. A certainty that if he didn't get my forgiveness now, I'd vanish forever. He jabbed the elevator button frantically, finally kicking the doors. The temperature plummeted with his rage. Natalie knew what came next. To stop him, she wrapped herself around his waist. Marcus, where are you going? He shook free, brow furrowed. To apologize. To Sophia. Venom flashed in Natalie's eyes before she hid it. Marcus, you gave her a job. Without you, she couldn't even stay in Manhattan. Her mom died, so what? No more excuses to scam money from you. Going after her now just enables her manipulation. Trust me, she's playing hard to get. For the first time, Marcus really looked at Natalie. I was brilliant. He knew that. The company's value had soared under my leadership. While he'd secretly sabotaged me at every turn. A human life meant nothing to Natalie. Marcus remembered our entire history clearly now. He'd never spent a cent on me. I wasn't a gold digger. Every fight, every accusation I tried to explain Natalie had twisted into proof of my greed. She'd planted the gold digger image so deep he couldn't see past it. This disaster was Natalie's design. Finally understanding, Marcus had already lost everything. When he realized, I was gone. The familiar words and script from Natalie now made him sick. Without her poison, his whole worldview was warped. By the time he processed it all, too late. Seeing Natalie blocking the elevator, Marcus's face went cold. Move. Natalie's eyes filled with fake tears. Marcus, I can't let you. He shoved her aside. Get in my way again and I'll never see you. Again. He finally reached the lobby, running and shouting. Sophia, don't go. I didn't stop, just got in my Uber. Marcus only caught exhaust fumes. Chapter 6. For 3 days, Marcus searched everywhere for me. I wasn't idle either. A law school friend had started her own firm. I found her contact, sent a tentative message. No error message. Good, not blocked. Our old friendship rekindled quickly. I explained everything, repeated what my boss had said. Asked her to help recover what was mine. This was my money. I'd been lovesick before, but now I wanted complete separation. My earnings had to come back. I didn't want his money. Wouldn't be his gold digger. For safety, I had her print relevant statutes as evidence. 3 days later, Marcus looked like death warmed over. Finally tracked me down, only to receive court summons. He stared at the papers, laughing bitterly at himself. The case was easier than expected. I won quickly, money transferred immediately. Staring at the balance, it felt unreal. Mom was gone. This money meant nothing now. But I couldn't let him keep stealing what was mine. Outside the courthouse, wind whipping my hair, I returned home. Back to the small house Mom and I had shared. The familiar scent broke me. I collapsed, clutching her ashes, sobbing. Sorry, Mom, for not giving you a better life. Sorry I couldn't get the surgery money in time. Sorry you never saw me married. So many apologies she'd never hear. After crying myself empty, I saw the little stool in the garden. Mom's smiley face drawing still visible under the moss. I carried it to the creek, scrubbing away years of neglect. The smile emerged clearer just like Mom's. Tracing the drawing, I whispered, Mom, I'll live well. I promise. Tears splashed the wood. I really couldn't live without her. But keeping busy helped numb the pain. After cleaning the yard, I felt lighter. Chapter 7. I spent days exploring, looking for work. Nothing fit. But the area had fishing spots. Maybe I could start a fishing business. Half for commercial fishing, half as a high-end recreational facility. Could boost the local economy too. Checking my balance, I started planning. Complete novice though. Lots of stumbles ahead. Daily routine, sit on the porch, lost in thought. Neighbor Mrs. Chen brought apples over. Waved her hand in front of my blank stare. What's wrong, dear? You've been spacey for days. Tell me. Maybe I can help. I want to start a fishing business but don't know where to begin. I didn't expect real help, just wanted to ease her worry. But Mrs. Chen clapped excitedly. Fishing? Perfect. My nephew James is in that business. He's coming for dinner tonight. I'll introduce you. My eyes widened in disbelief. Mrs. Chen laughed. Think I'm pulling your leg? I shook my head quickly, agreeing to dinner. Talk about perfect timing. Not one to waste opportunities, I rushed to help with dinner. James arrived covered in mud clearly from checking the ponds. He froze seeing me crouched over washing vegetables. Stepped out to check the house number, then back in. Mrs. Chen broke the awkward silence. James. This is Sophia. She wants to start a fishing business. You're the expert, help her out. Meeting my target, I stood and approached. Hi, James. I'm Sophia. He wiped his hands on his shirt before shaking mine. Hello. Endearingly awkward. After dinner, James immediately offered to survey my planned site. I was touched. He was busy but made time for a stranger. Changed clothes and followed him. Your 30 acres need 8-foot depth for fish farming. Add 300 pounds of lime per acre for cleaning. Your depth's insufficient for commercial use. I took notes frantically. What fish should I raise? After thinking, typically, this scale needs 2,000 carp, 1,500. Bream, 20 silver carp. But start with hardy species. Don't worry about workers. I'll introduce experienced ones. For your high-end recreational idea, separate zones for beginners and experts. Beginners get frustrated watching others succeed. Consider social fishing too where catching isn't the main draw. Advertise accordingly. James talked all afternoon. I'd assumed he was some nouveau riche fish farmer. Turns out, PhD in agricultural science. Published aquaculture research. With James's help, my business took shape quickly. Beginner pond, half price, everyone leaves with a fish even if they catch nothing. Second pond, no entry fee but pay by weight satisfying customers' ego. Premium ponds included restaurants. Some with water entertainment. My funds ran low, but James's help kept things moving. Profits came quickly. My net worth climbed. Chapter 8. Months of working together brought James and me closer. Dropped the formalities. This morning, doing financials in my yard, I heard James calling from far off. Soon he appeared. Working on reports? Yeah, almost done. Give me a minute. Sure. But James never sat idle. Swept my yard, washed yesterday's dishes. Initially I'd protested, but he never listened. Eventually I gave up. Your bowl's the same as yesterday. Skip breakfast again? My typing paused guiltily. Don't even try lying, Sophia. I smiled sheepishly and admitted it. Too busy with the business to remember meals. James took this very seriously. Saw me nod and looked exasperated. Health is wealth. The usual? His usual was incredible tomato egg noodles. So delicious. Both successful businessmen, but Marcus had only ever looked down on me. Forget cooking when Natalie appeared, I couldn't even get him to bring water when sick without being called a gold digger. Maybe James wasn't as wealthy. But self-made men are smarter and stronger than trust fund babies. Report done, noodles appeared. Halfway through, James smiled. Full? He always knew when I'd had enough me. Eating slowed. I appreciated kindness but always finished everything. If you're full, stop. Don't force it. I laughed around my chopsticks. James, are you psychic? You know everything about me. Huh, can't help it. Everything shows on your face. Hard not to notice. Simple-minded? First time anyone called me that. Marcus always thought I was calculating, manipulative. If I was as simple as James said, why had Marcus never seen my feelings in 7 years? Seeing my expression change, James panicked. What's wrong? Did I say something? I smiled and shook my head. Then James pulled out a gift box. Hope you like it. I took it and opened immediately. The ocean heart given to one's greatest love. Last month at the jewelry exhibition, they gave this to me. Thought it suited you. Been waiting for the right moment. If you don't like it, just. I love it. What? James was shocked. I'd accepted his gifts politely before, but this was my first enthusiastic response. His stunned expression mirrored our first meeting. I said I love your gift. The man's stammering pretense was adorable. Acting like I was simple when he was transparent. The ocean heart wasn't some random gift. It cost millions. And meant commitment. Buying it meant all future jewelry could only go to the ocean heart's owner. A promise. A declaration. James thought I didn't know. But anyone could see this gorgeous jewelry wasn't party favors. Had Marcus ever given me anything? Maybe splitting birthday cake costs. Though he ate most of it. Always mango his favorite because I catered to him. God, I'd been pathetic. Thinking that was love. Those touching gestures were just cheap performative acts anyone could do, but I'd been desperately grateful. James's gentle gaze made me blush. Why are you staring? He looked away quickly. Definitely not admitting he was mesmerized. Ahem, sorry. Tomorrow I wanted to show you the new facility. Come. If James CEO invites me, of course. Great. Dress up nice, there's a gala at the new place tomorrow night. Beautiful venue, I'll take photos for you. Worried I'd misunderstand, he rushed to explain. Not that you don't usually look nice. You're always beautiful. I just saw you like posting photos, thought I'd help. Wear whatever you want. James really did stammer when nervous. Got it. I'll wear my favorite dress. Don't overthink it, I'm not. Chapter 9. Next morning, I stared at a closet full of James's gifts, laughing. Which was his favorite? Thinking back. On each gift-giving moment, I couldn't tell. He only seemed to care if I liked them. 3 hours later, I finally chose. An elegant blue off-shoulder dress, perfect for the ocean heart. James offered to pick me up, but I declined. Wanted to surprise him alone. Show him I treasured every gift. But approaching the venue, I saw Marcus. Tried to leave quickly, but he caught my wrist. I jerked free, wary. Why are you here? My reaction cut him deep. Sophia, I've been looking everywhere. Finally found you. Please forgive me, give me another chance. I was wrong before, letting Natalie poison us. Stop. I don't want explanations. Or to see you again. The past is past. Don't bother me anymore. Marcus wouldn't give up. Pulled out a jewelry box. Same brand as Ocean Heart, but different piece. High-end luxury every socialite wanted. Young me had dreamed of earning enough for such treasures. Now 2 men offered them in 2 days. Marcus dropped to one knee with the ring. Sophia, marry me. I'll spend my life making amends. Please, one more chance. Before I could refuse, James appeared, pulling me into his arms possessively. Mr. Blackwood, poaching my woman at my venue seems inappropriate. His woman? I leaned into his chest, smiling. Someone else's involvement made Marcus pocket the ring and stand, glaring at James. Your woman? Fury colored his voice. My girlfriend. We broke up ages ago. James smiled, examining Marcus and noting the ring. HD ring? I remember you fighting me for the Ocean Heart at auction. With your resources, you'd have won, but you stopped at 20 million. Prefer this ring? His words shocked me. 20 million? For this necklace? James was insane. You spent that much on jewelry for me? James patted my hand reassuringly. Because you're worth it. Marcus saw my necklace then. The Ocean Heart he'd meant to win for me. But 20 million had it, just didn't think I deserved it. Thought the ring would be enough. After all, marrying him was my dream. Marcus's face went white. He'd considered buying it but decided I wasn't worth it. What he wouldn't buy, another man did. He'd lost completely. Marcus's voice cracked. Sophia, that money wasn't intentionally kept. You said you wanted to marry me, save for a wedding. I worried you couldn't save, wanted to help. Never meant to steal. I truly loved you. I'll give you better than Ocean Heart. James shielded me, disgusted. Mr. Blackwood, I know your history. Didn't mention it to spare Sophia pain. If you loved her, you wouldn't constantly suspect her of gold digging. Even with outside influence, the auction proved you don't love her. I give gifts wanting nothing back, just her happiness. Just that moment of joy when she opens them. You can't do that. Money means too much to you. When you love someone, you give them your best. You didn't. Each word hammered Marcus's heart. Seeing me grip James's hand, he knew. I'd never return. Never forgive. Marcus, I don't love you anymore. Because of you, I lost everything. My mother. My friends. My career. I've done enough. If you feel guilty, never contact me again. Having you in my life disgusts me now. I left with James without looking back. Marcus watched me go, tears falling. Reached out but I was already too far. Grief and suffocation crashed over him. Sophia, I'm sorry. James glanced back at the broken man. Holding James's hand, he suddenly stopped and led me forward. Weren't we taking photos? I followed, confused. When he stopped, I peered ahead. An entire hillside. Of camellias. How did you know I loved? Sophia, be my girlfriend. We spoke simultaneously, his voice drowning mine. Who confesses like that? My face burned. I really like you, Sophia. I'll treat you well. Will you give me a chance? How did you know about the camellias? I never mentioned it. You always wear that scent. And you have some in your garden. I have other flowers too. But you always face the camellias, no matter what. You tend them best. When upset, you fuss with them. So cold to others, so observant with me. I smiled softly. If your photos are good enough, I'll consider giving you a chance. Really? James grabbed my hands excitedly. Really? He truly was wonderful. Genuine and passionate. The end.